hi. I guess you've stopped by for another Vegematic Deluxe show. Well, thanks a lot. I really appreciate you coming by, because without you, there would be no reason for my existence. None. Well, maybe one little reason, but it hardly counts in the scheme of things. How's everybody been this week? I always laugh when I see these videos on YouTube that God told me to do this in a dream, and God said to me. And honestly, these people, they belong in a nut house. I'm sorry, that's politically incorrect to say nut house, but you know what I mean. These people need some serious help if they hear a voice in their head that they claim to be God. Now, I'm not anti-religious at all. I think everybody's entitled to their own beliefs, and whether or not you agree with that is irrelevant. I don't believe in pushing your beliefs on other people, which is really quite obnoxious, and it gets to the point where it's completely obnoxious. I remember walking down the street downtown a few years ago, and this idiot's handing out these little anti-abortion flyers, you know, like you're going to hell, and harassing people. And one guy walks by and he goes, nah, it's okay, like I don't want it. And this guy's going, it's okay if you go to hell then? I'm thinking, what possesses these people? The arrogance and the ego that has to go along with their narrow-minded view of the universe. I can't understand how religion got so twisted. And talking about fundamentalists and people that just see things through this narrow lens of ancient texts and don't use their brain. I don't know whether you believe there's a God or not. It doesn't matter to me personally. I believe that it's the way you treat other people that's important. And I'd like to say, everybody thinks that there would be a great judgment of wickedness and evil. I haven't given up on the idea. It's kind of something to think about, but they judgmental people, the people that claim that they know what God wants, that this all-knowing being that nobody has ever really seen in person, although there's lots of people that claim they have, but you can't take that and try and make laws out of it. I have a certain amount of religious faith. I don't know if it's religious is the right word. I tend to try and live my life by a certain moral code, not always entirely successfully, but it's just something that's deeply personal, and I don't talk about it because everybody has their own conception of what the universe is and whether or not there's a God. And who am I to try and tell other people how to live? I don't think I've ever figured out how to live, and I'm 65 years old and I still haven't got it figured out. So I would never try and tell other people how to live their lives, other than be a decent human being and don't be an asshole to others. Don't be cruel to animals. Other than that, man, hey, if you don't hurt another individual or creature, then hey, have a ball. But this idea of this rigid God that looks down and is ready to strike dead and throw you in a fiery pit forever and ever and ever, where the torture never ever stops. That just, my idea of a loving God and that, That's pretty hard to reconcile. I guess most people that watch me also watch Environmental Coffee House with Sandy. And I'll tell you, Sandy is the most kind person to other YouTubers, and such an amazing person that does all this work to keep her homestead going, and manages to, her and Jen produce this show every few days, and it's always worthwhile listening to and watching. Although Sandy is a doomer, there's so much life in that channel, because all of us people that don't see the future as being particularly bright tend to congregate there in the chat. I like people who are empathetic. I like people who are unselfish. It's a strange quirk of mine. I don't know why. I've just found that as I've gotten older, that I've been more concerned with becoming a better human, just in every way that I can think to do. And although it's painful at times, putting your trust and faith in people, and not everybody deserves your trust and faith, I can still, in my latter years, look back and say, hey, I improved a lot as a human. I think that's probably our job as humans, is just to improve a lot, just to learn. And really the most important thing we can learn is love. And it's so cliched to say that, but it's not a cliche. It's what I believe in my heart. We are learning lessons in this life, if there's an afterlife, and I have good reason to believe there is. I'll talk about that sometime. Then perhaps this whole life and its trials and tribulations are really just something that we have to go through to learn what we need to know to move on to the next destination, whatever that is and wherever that may be. Well, I guess that's enough of my inane rantings for this week. I'd like to thank everybody for coming by. I hope to see you again next week. Hey, one thing I've noticed about the recommendations that I'm getting, I don't know why, but I'm getting some with like 60 views, 100 views, and I'm going, cool. That's like small channels. So what I'm trying to do is replace all my big channels with small fringe channels, because I'm kind of a fringe kind of guy. So hats off to YouTube, and I don't give out compliments to YouTube easily. Thank you for all your comments last week. I went through them and I did my best to answer all of them. A couple of them, I'm sure, were deleted for some strange unknown reason. I don't ever delete comments and never will. I will continue to answer your comments, because that's become a bit of a Sunday ritual for me now, is to sit down and really get my ego stroked, you know. It's a boost for the rest of the week, and it empowers me, or something like that. No, maybe it doesn't. It only lasts a little while, and then my insecurities come up again.